Okay, hello, we're back. So we are in the going into the final investigation and farewell my turnabout. When we left off, we had just found out that there was a secret spy camera and a giant stuffed bear in Juan Coreda's hotel room that must have caught the murder on tape. But we don't know who bought the bear, we don't know who they were, and we don't know where the videotapes are because they were being transmitted somewhere and we don't know where the tapes are, although I kind of think they might be with Shelley the killer. But at the moment, Edgeworth is off to find out who bought this bear, and he's left us with a question. Who really killed Juan Corrida? And if we can't find that out by the end of today, then we are fucked. So, time to go and investigate and finally figure out who is behind all this shit before we head into trial. So, let's go. God, we're still in this hotel room. 9:14 p.m. Gatewater Hotel, Corida's room. It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't you worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. I don't think we're going to win a not guilty verdict tomorrow. That feels unlikely. The real killer. So the real person who killed Mr. Coretta was that assassin. Oh, that assassin, Mr. Shelley the killer, right? And the card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who is his client? You mean, who asked for the murder? That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. Whoever this client is, they're still a killer. And I'm pretty sure it's not on guard. But who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Miss Andrews? I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? It wasn't. There's no way it was Miss Andrews. But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then no, it can't be. Matt on guard himself? Was it Matt? If Mr. Ongard really did hire the assassin, then he's not innocent at all. Far from it, he would be guilty of the crime. But it can't be Mr. Ongard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him. Mr. Ongard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Wankarutta? Oh, alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Wankarutta, okay? I didn't see any sight logs at that time. But he's not lying. He very specifically said, I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Corrida. And he's right. If he hired someone else to do it, he didn't kill anyone, so he's not lying. He's just obfuscating the truth. Actually, that reminds me. Did you remember something, Mr. Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. So what is this interesting thing? Oh, that's right, you didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure that Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part, because I was saying, like, why would Matt didn't have a motive, but he did have a motive. I'd completely forgotten that he had, that the whole thing that we just discussed at the trial was that Juan had brought like a second Nickel Samurai costume, and this press conference that Matt didn't know about, probably did know about, but didn't know about, Juan was actually going on stage and was going to reveal something about Matt to try and destroy his career. So Matt killed him before he could go on stage. So he did have a motive. In fact, he's the only person with a motive. So yeah, no, it's looking like it's Matt. It's looking like it's Matt on guard. Matt, Mr. On Guard's secret? What is this secret? I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Coretta was going to reveal this secret. That means Mr. Ongar had plenty of motive to have Mr. Kurada silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Ongar. There's no way around it now. Okay. Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's past 9 PM already, but we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of this secret Mr. Kurita held about Mr. Ongard, and Miss Andrew's real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight. But aren't visiting hours over at the detention centre? I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. I don't see any point in examining all this stuff again, so we might as well just keep going. Oh, for the love of God. Hey, wait! What is a whippersnapper? All I know is that nothing that has anything to do with you is ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason, and I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made. I don't know, and frankly I don't care, but the request came from Edgypoo, so... Edgeworth? And he said, if you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So I'm going to feel free to direct all my anger towards you. Ugh, gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. This is absolutely top secret, and you better keep it to yourselves. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents. Very interesting. I'm sure it was, you know. It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know, that gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan. Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews? But I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Corridor. I'll let you in on another secret, young'un. I know who planted that spy camera. It was that obnoxious puffy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people. Spying on people by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself too. Wow, the alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can bet it's nothing good. But I didn't say anything. Juan and Adrian. So you want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two. Oh? I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager? Who are you talking about? You don't know? That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Tampax. Miss Andrew's mentor, right? Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know? What? Married? You mean to Mr. Coretta? Really, you young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement. 3 days after their marriage announcement? What in the... Yeah, that's new. Why would Miss Tampax want to kill herself? She was going to get married. I'm refusing to call her Impax, by the way. Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan. What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly cancelled their marriage. Do you mean engagement? Why do they keep saying marriage? Do you mean engagement? Is this true? It was in the weekly magazines. But why? Why did he do that? That was not in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. That night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager, Celeste, killed herself. How terrible. I wonder what happened between those two. I mean, is there anything else I can, like, present her? Not really. Hotel lobby. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. It looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. Criminal Affairs Department? Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened. You're You're Mr. Ungorn's lawyer, right? Ah, yes, sir. Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness. A decisive witness? You mean for Mr. Ungard's case? We're taking the witness's statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now? Who is this witness? I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer. Mr. Nick? Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here. Oh, yeah. Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something. He did? Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention centre, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go. Eh? I've already called them, so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content. Thank you very much. This is such good news, Mr. Nick. Go talk to your heart's content? It sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. I mean, maybe because they do. Hold on. Should I investigate the room again? He's close to his computer screen. What? The real killer in the Coretta murder is an assassin? This must be someone's idea of a joke. I can't believe this garbage. Have a lot more faith in your own subordinates. What's he up to? It seems as though my true face has been revealed. I was an elite businessman who made deals with the entire world. I was the young successor and CEO of a colossal corporate conglomeration, but my real self is that of a regular everyday policeman. Stop doing image training and get yourself out there in the field. No, he's writing his novel! He's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife, and he's talking to Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews are in this detention centre. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Well, we want to hear Matt. He said earlier he wanted to hear Matt. So... Dude, it's Mr. Wright! I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me and said that Juan Coretta was killed by an assassin, and that assassin's client is this man, Matt Ungard. What's wrong? Mr. Ungard, there's something I must know with 100% certainty. You seem kinda different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer dude self. Not secret. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah, I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Could you please fill me in on what this secret is, please? Nope. Nope. Fucking hell, 5! I knew this was coming. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. A psych log. 5 of them? You said a secret, right? But you don't have any idea what it is, do you, dude? Is it that you murdered him? Is that your secret? Did you know about Mr. Coretta and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. Ah, but I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Coretta. Her mentor was Mr. Coretta's manager, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Hampak's suicide note for him. Celeste? Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat. Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it a kind of pea? Like green peas? Let's go eat one later, okay? Oh, I get cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? No. How about we don't? Mr. On Guard, are you connected to Miss Tampax's suicide in some way? Well, that was useful. Can I think I can. I can use the Magatama, can't I, just to see what's going on. Even if I can't work them out, I can back out, as far as I know. I think. Matt's secret. Now let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Critter had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? I told you before, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on, I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Coretta, especially on that night. Oh, wow! That didn't regenerate! Oh no! I don't think I have enough evidence yet. I should investigate and gather some more clues before I try again. So, I'm guessing we need to find out that he bought the bear. But yeah, that didn't regenerate. That's disappointing. I thought it would. Good lord. So we're gonna have to get these Cyclops right, or I'm not gonna have any health when I go into the trial. March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me. Uh-oh. Mr. Powers? What happened? Why are you here? You see, I got roped into this somehow. What? And now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial. So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers? I was talking with a detective until a little while ago. I was on my way home. And all of a sudden, you're there, you're under arrest, and I was brought back here. Oh. They said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something. Well I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. Ugh, I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime? Tomorrow's testimony. So about this testimony, your testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about? I really don't know yet, but it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. You saw something important? What was it? Ah, well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, especially not that lawyer, he said. Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's me. Yeah, you got it. Mr. Nick, Missing Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's alright. Ouch. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? Matt on guard. This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know? Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going. But what's he really like? Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say it's just a game to justify himself. What? How horrible! That's unforgivable! Ow. Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me. One person who wouldn't swoon over him? His manager, you know? Miss Adrian Andrews? Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic? He loves gossip. Ah, you see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have this dazzling sort of image, right? A dazzling sort of image? But aren't you part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers? No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly British kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen. Well, that's true. Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide? You mean Miss Tampax? We heard something about how her wedding was cancelled. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead. Mr. Powers is so charged up his skin is practically glowing with electricity. Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it. We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note. Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is. Something bad for Mr. Coretta? Why'd you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends, and she said, it looks like I may have been caught by an insidious man. An insidious man? Did you mean Mr. Coretta by that? Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. Well, that's some good info, thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Ongard and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention centre right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Okay, so do we want to go back to the detention centre? Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Adrian. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Coretta had on Guard. Matt Guard. I'd like to ask you about Matt Guard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Ongard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. Celeste Tampax. About Miss Celeste Tampax. I have finally put her death behind me. And now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide, and it's true that when I heard the rumour that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back, and to burn it. You wanted to burn it? But why? I didn't want it to spread just like another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why frame him? Why did you try to frame Mr. Ongard? That's simple. Because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way. The police are excellent at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. Miss Andrews. Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason, so please tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Lately she's been dressing for revenge. She don't start shit, but she can tell you how it ends. Did you just say something right now? Oh god. Oh, just the one. Alright. A sight clock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say revenge. Because lately she's been dressing for revenge. Draw the cat eyes sharp enough to kill a man. Okay. Office? Oh yeah, okay. Writing full offices. Mr. Nick, your phone! Thought you didn't know what a cell phone is. I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous. It's probably just your imagination. You should really pick it up, Mr. Nick. It could be important. Hello? We've got a big problem, pal. What's wrong? I'm on my way to my office. I'm on my way to your office right now. Okay. Hey, wait a sec. Why is he coming here? God. He moved fast. Oh, I got here faster than I thought. Hey. No time to relax now, pal. I'm as confused as anything here. Well, what happened? We got him. We know who bought that spy camera. Eh? This quickly? And this bear's what gave them away, pal. The bear? I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. Wasn't that Mr. Edgeworth that figured it? Shh, Meryls. And, go on. There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime. Let me guess. Is it Matt? Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room? My own guard! Shocking! Color me shook. Huh? My own guard. Your client, that's who, pal. And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Stuffed bear. I'm getting itch. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was... I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear. A receipt? That's all you have? Nah, it's not just the receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me. I'm sure I sold that bear to Mr. On-Guard. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. On-Guard's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person bought the stuffed bear was Mr. On-Guard himself. My sight is failing me. This can't be. Credit card receipt added to the court record. Yeah, you're fucked, Phoenix. This is bad. This is not going well for you. So what about the spy camera we found? Ah, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you for you to file away into evidence. Spy camera transmitter and stuffed bear refiled into the court record. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Wankareda's room was Matt On-Guard. Why would Mr. On-Guard do something like this? I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Coretta in one of their rendezvous. I bet it's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. Are you going to see him? Mr. On-Guard, I mean? Yes. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we'll find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for perils. Matt On-Guard, what in the world have you done? Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. I want to see if he says anything else about these things that we just added. Yeah, nah. I can't think of anything to say about this. Why don't I just make some instant noodles instead? That's alright, really. Yeah, that On-Guard. What was he thinking? You mean setting the spy camera up in the victim's room? Yeah, and it was recording at the time of the murder too, pal. Don't you find that just a tad suspicious? It doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Ah, I mean, don't mind me. I didn't mean it that way, pal. In what way did you mean it? At the same time, though, why would you set up a camera to film someone's murder? Surely you don't want evidence of a murder. Oh, it says the same thing. Okay, so we might as well skedaddle. Kill beam? Sorry, just got notification. Do we want to go back to the detention center? You're working really late, you know? It's already past 10 PM, dude. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax. Don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Okay, well... I can probably beat at least the first side clock here. Target! Not secret. Right, zoom through this. I don't know anything about it. Blah, 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 blah. Totally didn't pay attention to blah, 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 blah. Don't lie to me. I know you paid close attention to Mr. Crida, especially on that night. Oh, the question is, which one do I show? Okay. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Crida's room on the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow. But dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden? Yeah, I was thinking what there's probably going to be a question about the bear specifically. The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. There we go. I guess Gwen had a few of those fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Coretta was... You! Mr. On Guard, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Aw, but he says he knows you. How could he forget such a great friend? What the fuck, Phoenix? What else did the bear tell you? He says that the one who put this camera in his eye was you, Mr. On Guard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first? Here's proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. That would be the receipt, right? Proof On Guard bought a stuffed bear. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. On Guard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to the department store all the time, okay? Don't know why I wouldn't click there. This $3,800, this could be the one toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush? It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles. Well, fuck you! Leave the elephants alone. Elephants are the best animal in the entire world. Leave them alone. Ew, elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Oh great, my mouse pad's gone slow. Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set up this camera yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm gonna find out what I want to know. Because I must. The reason you had this camera in Mr. Coretta's room and filmed it in secret is... Oh god! I have to get this right or it'll wipe me out. Hold on. Save save to slot one. I mean, it has to be the gossip, right? But... I don't know if that's the right thing to say. Screw it, I'm just gonna look it up. I don't want to go through the trouble. Okay, yeah, you can present the magazine clipping, thank god. Yes, thank god. Adrian Andrews? There's a rumour going around that Miss Andrews and Mr. Coretta were having secret meetings. You, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Coretta, you were going to reveal this as a fact and turn it into a scandal, isn't that right? Dude, you can be such a moron. Huh? Oh man, Mr. Lawyer, dude, that kind of scandal... That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy. The good stuff? Juicy? It's the good kush. Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny with that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Coretta because of Mrs. Andrews. then there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set up that camera in Mr. Coretta's room was... well, it was to film the murder. But what do I show him for that? The autopsy report, maybe? Oh, no, not that. Present the picture card. Oh, right, okay. I was gonna say, like, obviously it's because he wants to film the murder. I just couldn't figure out what I'm supposed to show him to symbolize that. But it's this. It's going so slow. What is this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelley the Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelley the Killer? That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Matt on guard. I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It's because you're a hero of justice, you're his client, or you're a star. Because you're his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelley the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Corrida. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Matt Ongard. And here I was, trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought, anyway. Mr. Ongard, you really did hire. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. Yay! Oh, Jesus. What the fuck is going on? What? How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Ongard. That's good. That's good. Hopefully if we can break Adrian's, then we'll have a full bar for the next trial. Matt's secret. Well, the music's changed and everything. Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really... So you were Shelley the Killer's client. You don't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, do you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? You're lying. What terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? And why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me? How much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why? Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? That makes more sense. That checks out. Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up, and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? I love that. Why would you do it? Because I can! Yep, this guy is a psychopath. Why? Why would you kill Mr. Corrida? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Coretta had been able to give it, then Mr. Ongar's secret would have... Ah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit it crept up on me, and then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Coretta ended up dead. Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet, innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. I love how he suddenly got, like, to make him look more, like, crazy, he's got, like, a glass of whiskey or something, but it's like, where did he get that from? Did you just pull that out from under the detention center table? They just got a drinks bar and the prison, like, what's going on? Well, the jail. Put on a sweet, innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Mad on Guard. I mean, he is, after all, an actor. We maybe shouldn't be so surprised that he'd managed to pull this off, because he is an actor. Acting is what he does. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Matt on Guard. Aw, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked you if you killed Juan Coretta, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room. You killed Mr. Coretta. I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Grr. Aw, but too bad. You can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Aw, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Mystic Maya. You wouldn't want to test a killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You can end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel. So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliche phrase. Juan said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course. Well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Maya. Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now you finally found it. Ah, here he is. The starting line of this case. Edgeworth. I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Oh, cool. We just teleported. He hasn't even changed stance or anything. Criminal Affairs Department. Well, right. What are you gonna do? If you plan on changing your defense... No! We can't do that! That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Right. Only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that's why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. What on earth is he on about? Matt on guard. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer. Matt on guard. That man is really... ugh. It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you fought for your clients up until now? Ugh. Well, that may be true, but that's because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard and acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. It kind of is. Like, This is the thing that this game doesn't seem to understand, or at least Phoenix as a character doesn't understand. Defense lawyers don't exist purely to get innocent people off of charges that have been brought to them wrongfully. Defense lawyers exist to try and minimize charges for people who are actually guilty. More often than not, defense lawyers are defending people who are actually guilty of the crime that they've been accused of. Phoenix is just very, very lucky that his clients are always innocent, but that's not the typical situation for a defense lawyer. I know that because this game comes from Japan and the Japan judicial system is kind of complicated, and the prosecution, like in Japan, like something ridiculous like 80% or 90% of cases are solved because the prosecution will only bring a case if they have literally like airtight evidence that someone did it, in which case you maybe do need to have a defense lawyer there to make sure that the prosecution isn't doing something wrong to try and maintain their 100% record or whatever. But in the West, at least, defense lawyers are usually defending actual criminals, not people who are innocent. And I'm sorry, Phoenix, but this is actually pretty normal fare for a defense lawyer. You're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to reconcile the fact that you went into defense law and this is what it entails. Sometimes your clients aren't innocent and you're gonna have to deal with that. Anyway, my situation. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right, would you get hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? That's... You're a defense lawyer. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. Why fight? People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Franziska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You're so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realise the error of my ways. I realised that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. Eh? I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you. Are you saying that's why you left the prosecutor's office? I thought that was pretty clear. But okay. But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith that you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. Mr. Neck, the transceiver! I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Well then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My, what's the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please, why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Ongard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client. Don't toy with me. A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself. I believe you were asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls on my clients for my handiwork. That is what's called client relations, and it's part of an assassin's duty. An assassin's duty? The duty to work in the dark and serve the light. We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before. However, you did, but my name is DeKiller. Shelly DeKiller. You're Shelly DeKiller? I thought we knew this! Please keep in mind, you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a DeKiller, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain... Maya, it would be my duty as an assassin to see to it that she receives a nice long nap. Ah, no! Now then, if you excuse me, if someone were to trace this signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Meow! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I don't know what to say. Edgeworth? Did you hear that? At the end of that transmission? Huh? Oh, that. It sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be. That cat. Can it? What is it? I think I know where Shelly DeKiller is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all the police units head for On Guard's mansion immediately. Alright. You hurry over then as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. This fight has only just begun. Yeah! Yep. I mean, I feel like that's a big jump to make, but I was sitting there and I'm like, how does the fact that there was a cat mean anything? But I suppose he probably internally is like, recognise the fact that Shelly DeKiller and that guy they met have the same voice, because they will have the same voice. The fact that it's Matt is his client and the two of them are connected, it probably all just checks out that, wait, like, you know, there was a locked room with a cat door, the cat makes meow and they recognise them. Yeah, they probably just put a lot together subconsciously there. How do we get to his house? Ah, right, living room. March 22nd, On Guard Mansion living room. Maya! Please answer us, Mystic Maya! Oh look, there's a bear! Where did that come from? It wasn't there before. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time he was the killer! He and On Guard were working together all this time. I'm sure they'd worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. I'm going to examine the bear, because it wasn't there before. That was in the room with Maya. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason. Figurine added to the court records. A bear? Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Coretta? Why would something like this be here? Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed here. Ah, I'm sure that's for Shu. Do you think this came through that little door? Oh, maybe it's Maya. Maybe she put it through to try and signal. Oh, this door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Oh, I wish we could have seen that. The boys breaking down the door with our shoulders. It's probably in the anime. If I ever get around to watching it. Ah, there's no one here. From the looks of this room, I would say this is On Guard's private lounge. Look at this, right? An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals and VCR. Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No. But there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. Can we examine anything? It's On Guard's computer. Maya, why couldn't you use this to get help? But Mr. Nick, where's the power switch? Oh, I get it. So that's what happened. She couldn't find the power switch. I can't read all the labels, but this is a very large collection of videotapes. Looks like On Guard taped all of his own shows. A huge television and speakers both loom largely here. I'm sure if Maya saw this, she'd say, I would die a happy samurai fan if I could see the Nickel Samurai in a TV like this. Yeah, that's what she'd say. Ah, I can't believe I just made a joke about Maya, all things considered. It's a VCR and an antenna. The footage that the spy camera took at the scene of the crime was beamed here and recorded on tape. If only we had that tape, it would have been really helpful. There's a little door for Shu in this big door. I'm sure Maya used this door to shove this out there. I'm sure it was her. Every time you give me some piece of evidence, it's always the most crucial piece. This time too, I'm sure. Okay, can we go into the other room? The wine cellar? Oh, there's something at the bottom of the stairs. We've searched all over, but it looks like he got away. I'm sorry. It looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking for you to be her pillar. Yeah, you're right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Maya. Wow, I've never seen so many bottles all in one place before. Well, I guess when you're a star, you have so much money you can buy anything you want. Oh, same thing. Yeah. The light doesn't filter all the way, so it's hard to see. It looks like there are crates and cardboard boxes tied up with wire here. It's a pretty heavy door, isn't it? I can't open it by myself. Please don't shut me in here by accident, okay, Mr. Nick? If I were locked in a place like this, I'd be plenty scared too, trust me. This is like a picture of Miss Tampax. With love, Celeste. Miss Tampax? You mean... yeah, Mr. Kurida's former manager. Why would a picture of Miss Tampax be here in Mr. Onguard's mansion? And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. Celeste photo added to the court record. Ah! What's wrong, Pearls? Please let me see that picture frame. Huh? What's so special about the frame? On the back! There's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's missing Maya! She left us a message! What? I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You better get Onguard's guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Hurley, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's got to watch out for the helpless lunk. That's it for now, Nick. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, Maya. No! Mystic Maya! Right. What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Oh, nothing. We've searched the house, and this is the last room. It looks like he eluded us. Edgeworth. Yes? As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm gonna get. But I'm still short one last thing. And what is that? Miss Andrews' sight clock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open that last lock. Oh yeah, we time travelled. Teleported. Saves me trekking through all those bloody screens again. Detention center room. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I've come to remove your sight clock. Sight clock? I want to know, and you will tell me, your secret. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can. Oh, I will. We're not fucking about anymore. Shit is going down. Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Onguard for the murder? I've already told you countless times, it's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Onguard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on another person. There's something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. Do I show Celeste's profile? I really don't want to fuck up this because I want to make sure that I have a full bar for the trial, so I'm assuming it's either Celeste's profile or Celeste's suicide report. Let me check. Present either the suicide report or Celeste Impact's profile. Cool, that's what I thought. I'll just present the profile because it's easier to find. Celeste. There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings, and even revenge. And that is Miss Tampax's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who had her suicide note was also Juan. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right, you haven't mentioned him. Yet. But for you to hate Mr. Ongard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impax and her suicide. I forgot to call her Tampax. Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt? So this would be the photo, right? Like the photo we just found that says "With Love, Celeste." Yeah, present Celeste's photo. Thank goodness. This is a photo of Miss Tampax, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Miss Tampax's handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's alright. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. Ongard's mansion. And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Yay! Woo! Yay! Full bar for the trial, thank goodness. Because that was not looking good. Okay. Y-frame them. Celeste. She was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard that didn't work out. Because Mr. Corrida didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Itchy face. Yes, because of Matt. Because of Mr. Ongard? What do you mean? I think I can see where this is going. Celeste. She was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at that time. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why, with love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture. They were a couple, weren't they? It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with, until she was thrown away. That's so horrible. Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that's where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then, it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. Revenge. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan killed the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see, so that's what happened. But, then why did Mr. Corrida have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all. It was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. Poor Miss Tampax. That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds, and so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. And then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. Juan realised that note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and it would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge. There's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note, at a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it, because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring to them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all of this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a fell profession. Thank you very much for your time and talking with me. It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either. Not with Maya's situation. Or with what I now know. Or know now. To be continued. Oh dear. Oh dear. So, we know now for certain it was Matt who hired, what's his face, Shelley to kill Juan. We know what the motive was, we know how Celeste is all involved, we know all the information that we can possibly know, I assume, and now we have to go to the trial. Problem is, we're going to the trial knowing that our defendant is guilty, and that if we want to save Maya, we have to get a not guilty verdict. Although Maya told us not to do that, but yeah, so I'm intrigued to see how this turns out, because this is different. This is not your usual Phoenix Wright case. Yeah, I should have brought a drink because my throat is actually burning from talking for all this time. So I'm going to head off, but thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, where we will finally start putting this case to bed. Okay, bye everyone.